love triangle, firings, shoot interviews, worked shoot interviews, rants on the internet, a blood feud, and perhaps worst of all, it almost ruined the legacy of one of the most trailblazing female stars of all time. No, it's not Game of Thrones. This is the real-life beef amongst some of the WWE's most popular stars ever. The love triangle storyline between Edge, Matt Hardy, and Lita changed all of their careers, both immediately and in the long run. It is interesting to go back and look at the immediate aftermath of their storyline, seeing the direction that all three of these individuals went in the years following. They all had different journeys both inside and outside the WWE, though they all did get their hands on some gold when their story concluded. We will take a look at their respective WWE tenures after they all went their separate ways, and the legacy they ended up leaving behind. Before we begin diving into the drama, be sure to take a moment to subscribe to Honor Wrestling Club. We are really close to 500 subscribers at the time of writing, and it would mean a lot if we could reach it before WrestleMania. So please, be a pal and help us out. And welcome to the club. Now let's dive into the drama. Matt Hardy's history with Edge and Lita is rich in kayfabe. Matt Hardy had history with both Edge and Lita. Matt and Jeff Hardy began their careers in WWE at around the same time as Edge, who later took Christian to be his partner, and traveled the roads together. Lita started her WWE career as the manager of Essa Rios, but she left him and soon joined Matt and Jeff as Team Extreme. Lita and Matt began dating and their relationship strengthened. Meanwhile, the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian became the hottest tag teams in WWE, and their feud with the Dudley Boys was one of the best in WWE history, where the trifecta just decided to steal Sheamoy's gimmick by putting on banger after banger after banger. However, when the feud ended, the Hardy Boys broke up and went their separate ways as single stars. This is when things got rough for Matt. Lita cheated on Matt Hardy with Edge. Lita and Matt Hardy were in a real relationship. Matt Hardy and Lita began dating in 1999, and by 2004, cracks were showing in the relationship. When Matt Hardy was out of action for over a year thanks to a severe knee injury, Lita began traveling with her and Matt's close friend, Edge. While Matt was off the road, Lita began an affair with Edge. Edge was married at the time, and Lita was still with Matt, creating a very uncomfortable situation. When Matt Hardy found out about Edge and Lita's affair, he made the whole thing public, going to the internet to air out all their dirty laundry. WWE released Matt Hardy from his contract because of unprofessional conduct on social media. Since the affair had become public, WWE fans made their feelings known to Edge and Lita, with the fans taking Hardy's side. WWE crowds would jeer at Edge and Lita on screen, with Edge getting chants like, "We want Matt," and "You screwed Matt," while Lita fared much worse and got some truly disgusting things chanted at her. With this real-life drama now affecting the shows, WWE had to pivot their plan and use the real-life heat on Edge and Lita to make them a hated on-screen duo. Fans railed around Matt Hardy online, and a petition saw 15,000 fans wanting Hardy to get his job back. During this time, Edge and Lita had leaned into their real-life heat, and their electric chemistry saw them become Raw's hottest heels. The real-life drama eventually became a WWE storyline. WWE used this drama to create content on Raw. The Edge-Lita-Hardy drama was one of the most talked-about events in all wrestling. Hardy was getting main event level reactions from WWE fans, despite not being in the company, with his name being chanted on Raw every week. These were terrible real-life circumstances, but if they played their cards right, all three could use this situation to propel them into becoming bigger stars. While Matt Hardy was wrestling in Ring of Honor and the independent scene, he would make unscripted, unannounced calls into WWE Bite, this a web-exclusive show, and would tear into Edge and Lita. This situation was blending kayfabe and reality closer than perhaps any other storyline in WWE history. On July 11, 2005, Matt Hardy made his shocking return to WWE, attacking Edge backstage. During the attack, Matt shouted at Edge, calling him by his real name, Adam, led to Matt Hardy cutting a worked shoot on Edge and Lita on Raw. This promo, which in theory could have pushed Matt Hardy into the main event, was a disaster. You could feel Hardy's stock plummeting with every second. He was rambling, he didn't sound confident, and he had a bizarre line about wanting Edge to die in a car accident. Sadly though, for Matt at least, WWE seemed to lose faith in Hardy after the promo. He was the innocent party in all of this, but most weeks it was Edge and Lita who were getting the upper hand. Edge and Hardy's first match against each other was at SummerSlam 2005, which Edge won, super easily, barely an inconvenience. Then there was the street fight on Raw, which ended in a no contest. Hardy got his only victory in the feud at Unforgiven 2005 in a fantastic cage match, to be fair, and their last match came at Raw Homecoming in a loser leaves Raw ladder match. Edge won the match and won the entire feud as Matt was banished from Raw, with Hardy never really getting his proper revenge. Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy all said they were uncomfortable during the feud and would have rather not done it. Edge and Lita's real-life relationship was over before any of this had hit TV, and Lita and Matt tried to reconcile after the Edge affair, but the pressure on both of them made everything impossible. It was uncomfortable to watch, but Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy deserve respect for turning a horrible situation into one of the most memorable WWE storylines in recent history. How did the Lita, Edge, Matt Hardy saga affect WWE storylines? Whilst Lita was still in a relationship with Hardy, she would enter a storyline with Kane, which would be one of the worst in WWE history. Kane became infatuated with Lita, stalking her and kidnapping her. It all escalated to the point where he would win a match against Hardy that earned him the right to marry her. The story between Kane and Lita took many twists and turns over several months, including infamously bad moments, such as when Lita had a miscarriage that she wanted to have due to it being Kane's child, and when Snitsky kicked a baby into the crowd. This was a storyline that developed for many months, and it got to the stage where Lita seemingly sided with Kane and fell in love as he became babyface. However, the issues regarding Lita and her relationship outside of the ring caused a change in all these plans. WWE made the executive decision to capitalize on the publicity created with the situation regarding Hardy and Edge, and this led them to dropping the partnership between Lita and Kane. After months of being held captive by the monster, Lita turned heel. Yes, just consider that logic. And aligned with Edge. This ignited a short-term feud between Kane and Edge, which saw Kane gain a win on PPV at the Vengeance event. This put an end to Kane's role in the angle, as Hardy returned and ignited his feud with Edge. Lita has explained her reasoning behind cheating on Matt Hardy. Lita has opened up about this whole situation since it happened. When she spoke on Making Their Way to the Ring podcast with Lillian Garcia, she discussed her mindset at the time, and that she and Matt Hardy didn't necessarily have huge issues, but she realized that they were not going to progress in their relationship, which likely opened the doors for her doing what she did. She explained how they were disconnected a little, and this is when things started to happen with Edge. So when Adam and I started to bond on such a deeper level, as well as having the creative outlet with our careers and stuff, both of us were kind of like, oh shit. Like once we started to realize we were more than just two bros just hanging out. So the hard thing that has always been with this time period is we realized we were going down a path that we shouldn't, and what I mean by that is mentally. She talked about their initial kiss and the backlash of everyone finding out. Lita revealed her regret and the apologies she gave out to Edge's wife, and touched on locker room reaction too. For the most part, every woman in that locker room judged me. Each of the other wrestlers' wives, the boys judged me, but as shameful as they were acting towards me, I was punishing myself even worse. I was like, you're terrible. How could you do this to everyone involved? So I just felt like I deserved everything I got and more. I just felt so bad about it. HT WrestleZone. Edge spoke on why they all moved on from the situation. Edge, Matt Hardy, and Lita all managed to work together following their bad blood, which is all excellent professionalism, and they all deserve huge respect for this, as this seems like an impossibility, especially when you consider that all this happened in such a short space of time. Edge spoke to Peter Rosenberg about doing business and making money even with real-life animosity, and instead of letting it badly affect things, using it to an advantage. You gotta be pros, and also, back to my point of finding positives when it doesn't seem like there are any on the surface, you gotta dig underneath the surface. This is one of those, and you go, okay, we're here. Now what do we do? Well, let's try to make some money together, and let's try to further both our careers out of this, and hopefully out of this we can not only become stronger performers, but stronger people too. And that usually doesn't happen within the context of a wrestling storyline, so it's a little bit more because of that. Edge would go on to talk about he and Matt were fairly close before all the issues started, and although things got bad, they soothed over time. When talking about how Jeff Hardy reacted to things, Edge stated that for a short while there was some tension due to loyalty shown towards his brother, but they all grew from it and found themselves in a better place eventually. Everyone involved moved on from one another, with all entering different relationships eventually. Where are Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy today? Their lives are all looking very different. Matt Hardy is married to Rebby Sky, with the pair having 4 children, all of whom have had their share of the spotlight during Hardy's wild cinematic matches. He is now working in TNA once again, competing alongside his brother Jeff Hardy, in addition to other indie shows on the side too, although did recently make a cameo appearance in NXT. Edge is now working under the name of Adam Copeland, or Cope, leaving WWE in 2023 and heading over to AEW, working outside of WWE for the first time since the 1990s. Briefly, Edge and Hardy both worked under the AEW banner, but much like their time in WWE for many years, there was never an issue. Edge is married to Beth Phoenix, and the pair have settled with their 2 daughters. Whilst Edge and Hardy have found their partners outside of the ring, Lita hasn't had the same such luck. Her last known relationship was over a decade ago, with none other than CM Punk. Sure, there's nothing controversial with him. And while she may very well have kept things under wraps, she's not married nor does she have kids. It seems, unlike Hardy and Edge, Lita might have had enough relationship drama for a lifetime. She is now a WWE Hall of Famer, most recently wrestling in 2023, where she won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships alongside Becky Lynch. What did the trio do after their WWE storyline concluded? Lita continued in her partnership with Edge for a little while after the Matt Hardy chapter ended, helping out during feuds with the likes of John Cena and Mike Foley. But after a while, they drifted apart, with Lita heading back into WWE's Women's Championship scene. She would feud with the likes of Mickie James and Trish Stratus. But at times, she was at the center of some embarrassing and dehumanizing moments and segments, putting a murky end to her full-time run in WWE, which ended at the Survivor Series 2006. Lita parted ways from WWE, retiring from the business. In the many years since, she has made countless cameos with WWE and has even returned to the ring here and there, most notably winning the WWE's Women's Tag Team Championships alongside Becky Lynch in 2023. Edge's split from Lita only saw him continue to climb up the card, winning multiple world titles, tag titles, Royal Rumbles, and Money in the Bank briefcases, and basically anything else that could be won at the time. His run with Lita truly established his R-rated persona, leading him to more relationship storylines involving Vicky Guerrero, as the pair became the top heel act and power couple of SmackDown for several years. He was a consistent main eventer from this point on, up until his early retirement in 2011, which kept him out of the ring until a shock return in 2020. In the case of Matt Hardy, the storyline did establish him even more as a singles competitor, and he went on to have strong reigns as both ECW champion and United States champion in the aftermath. But he was very much confined to the mid-card and tag team divisions in WWE. He had notable feuds with the likes of MVP and Jeff Hardy before eventually parting ways with the promotion, spending some time in TNA before another WWE return. And there you have it. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps us out. Make sure to subscribe to Honor Wrestling Club by hitting that subscribe button and joining our community so you never miss an update on all things wrestling. We'd love to hear from you, so leave your thoughts, comments, and questions down below. Let's keep that conversation going. Until next time, stay strong, stay passionate, and we'll see you in the next video. Welcome to the club.